I travel a lot for work, long drives, small towns, cheap motels. This happened about 2 years ago in Southern Oregon. It was late, around midnight, and I pulled into a rundown roadside motel, the kind with peeling paint, buzzing lights, and a clerk who doesn't look up from his phone. I just wanted a bed and a shower. The guy at the front desk gave me room 12, far end, ground floor. When I got there, the first thing I noticed was the smell musty, like old carpet and bleach. The room was freezing. I turned on the heater, dropped my bag, and took a quick shower. When I came out, the TV was on, static. I hadn't touched it. I turned it off, brushed it off as maybe an old power issue. Then, around 2 a.m., I woke up to the sound of footsteps in the hallway, slow, heavy. They stopped right outside my door. Then came a soft knock. Not loud, not urgent. Just 3 slow knocks. I didn't move, didn't even breathe. After a few seconds, whoever it was started scratching the door, slow, dragging nails down the wood. I whispered, "Who's there?" No answer. The scratching stopped. Then footsteps again, moving away. I stayed awake the rest of the night. When I checked out the next morning, I mentioned it to the clerk. He gave me a weird look and said, "You were in room 12. I nodded. He leaned closer and said, "That room's supposed to stay locked. We haven't rented it since the incident." He wouldn't say what happened, just handed me a refund and told me to forget it. I looked back at the motel as I drove off. Room 12's curtain was open, and someone was standing at the window, watching me leave. I was on a solo road trip across Texas, stopped at a cheap motel just outside Amarillo. Bright red neon sign, $20 rooms, no questions asked. Around 1 a.m., I woke up thirsty and realized I'd left my water bottle in the car. I threw on a hoodie, stepped outside. The air was cold, the parking lot empty. Halfway to my car, I noticed a man standing under the sign. He wasn't moving, just staring toward the rooms. I tried to ignore him, grabbed my bottle, and turned back. But now he was closer, standing right beside the ice machine, about 20 feet away. He smiled. Didn't say a word, just smiled. I hurried back into my room, locked the door, and peeked through the curtain. He was gone. I stayed by the window for maybe 10 minutes, scanning the lot. Then I saw him again, crouched behind my car, just barely visible in the shadows. I called the front desk, whispering for help. The clerk said he'd send someone to check. 5 minutes later, I heard footsteps outside my door, light, cautious steps. Then a knock. "It's me from the front desk," a voice said. But something was off. The tone, the pacing. It sounded too calm. I looked out through the peephole. It wasn't the clerk. It was the same man. He stood there for a while, then smiled again, and walked away into the dark. When I checked out in the morning, the real clerk told me no one had called or gone to my room that night. And when I looked at my car, there were muddy handprints all over the trunk. This happened when I was 24. On my first solo work trip, the company booked me a room at a small family-owned motel off the interstate. It was clean, quiet, and cheap, exactly what I needed. The only weird thing was the connecting door to the next room. It was locked, but I could see light coming from underneath it at around midnight. I woke up to muffled talking from the other side. A man's voice, calm, steady. Then another, a woman, whispering something I couldn't make out. I almost fell back asleep when I heard a sound like a doorknob turning. The connecting door rattled slightly, then stopped. I got up, looked. The handle was still. I leaned closer. Then I heard breathing, right on the other side. Slow, deep breathing. I whispered, "Hello?" No answer. I put my hand against the door, and something pushed back. I jumped back, grabbed my phone, and called the front desk. The clerk told me, "That room's empty. We haven't rented it tonight." He came up with the master key, opened the next room, and it was completely empty. Lights off, no bags, no one inside. We checked the connecting door again, and that's when he noticed it. There were fresh fingerprints all over the knob, but only on my side. Have you ever experienced something you can't explain? Share your story in the comments.